Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces and they're not happy about it. They're going to be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces.
When Angel Reese fans lose their cool, it's not just a few heated comments. It turns into a full-blown storm, and everyone even remotely connected gets caught in the crossfire. Candace Parker, a respected veteran of the game, somehow gets dragged into the mess for simply existing. She's not even on the court, yet somehow she's being blamed, criticized, and scrutinized as if she's at the center of the drama. Then there's Kennedy Carter, who seems to have taken on a new role: part-time professional basketball player, part-time social media troll. Instead of focusing on the game, she's out here throwing jabs online, making snarky remarks, and fueling the chaos like she's auditioning for a reality show. Meanwhile, in Chicago, the Sky organization looks like it's unraveling at the seams. Fans are fed up. The team can't seem to find consistency. Chemistry is clearly lacking, and emotions are running high. On the court, it's a struggle. Off the court, it's a spectacle. Carter's antics, while entertaining to some, have started to feel less like competitive spirit and more like a stand-up routine in the middle of a crisis. The atmosphere around the team is tense, confusing, and borderline surreal. What's happening isn't just a sports slump. It's something much more dramatic. We're watching a franchise in real-time turmoil, where every game feels like an episode of unscripted TV. The rivalries, the meltdowns, the tweets, the interviews, it all blurs the line between competition and chaos. And the craziest part? It's all unfolding in front of millions of fans who are watching, recording, sharing, and reacting in real time. Buckle up, because this ride isn't slowing down anytime soon.
You had comments on Angel Reese and it went viral. People were saying, oh, you're an Angel Reese hater.
They asked me my opinion on player tiers. And my thing is then if you bring something to the argument, bring something else. Can she get to player A or player S or whatever? Yes, she can. Yes. Right now, I don't know if she's alongside those players in B's and you're measuring her against players that have been in the league for years.
Right.
And so I think that, you know, I've faced it on the men's side when people attack you for what you look like or who you are. That's usually not coming with a solid argument.
Candace Parker said what needed to be said, and that simple act sent Angel Reese's fan base into an all-out meltdown. The moment Parker voiced her honest thoughts, it was like someone lit a match in a room soaked with hairspray. Within minutes, social media was flooded with angry comments, hot takes, and dramatic reactions. The Reese Hive went straight to DEFCON 1, treating Parker's words like a personal attack, as if she had insulted their favorite player, canceled their weekend brunch plans, and stepped on sacred ground all at once. The backlash wasn't just loud, it was intense. Fans accuse her of being jealous, out of touch, or trying to tear down a rising star. But if you really listen to what Candace said, it wasn't hateful. It wasn't even controversial. It was honest, thoughtful, measured. She simply pointed out the uncomfortable truth that many others in the league have been thinking, but are too cautious to say out loud. And that, it seems, is the real offense. Because Candace didn't attack Angel Reese. She challenged the narrative around her. She spoke up about things like professionalism, consistency, and team dynamics. Things that matter if you want to succeed long-term in the WNBA. But when you dare to criticize a fan favorite, no matter how respectfully, the internet comes for you with torches in hand. What makes all of this even more telling is that Parker's remarks came from a place of experience. She's not just any player. She's a legend. Someone who has seen what it takes to survive and thrive in this league. And yet, her opinion was dismissed by many simply because it didn't match the hype. It didn't feed into the echo chamber of constant praise. So now we're left with a familiar pattern. A respected veteran gives a fair critique, and instead of reflection, there's rage. Instead of conversation, there's chaos. And the sad truth is, this kind of response only makes it harder for young players to grow. If every bit of constructive feedback is treated like betrayal, what kind of support system are we really building? Candace Parker told the truth. That's all she did. And somehow, that turned into her biggest crime.
Wally, we always know she's a matchup nightmare.
Oh.
Paige Beckers, I can't put her above.
We put Arike in the B tier? Come on. Arike is like a D tier player. Arike is a shot chucker. She could barely shoot 35% from the field most games. But go on, Candace, but go on.
Sabrina's and the KPs and the Caitlin Clark.
Paige B tier.
But I can put her at that B level.
Okay.
The more Arike and her play together, the better they're going to make one another. Cameron Brink, I think, is, the unknown. So I put Cameron Brink on the C level, I think, just in terms.
And here's the quiet part that no one wants to say out loud. Angel Reese isn't exactly the second coming of Lisa Leslie. No matter how many times ESPN tries to crown her the new face of the league with flashy edits and glowing headlines. That's not shade. That's not hate. That's just reality backed by stats, game tape, and performance on the court. It's all there in plain sight. Her numbers don't lie. The inconsistency is real. And as much as the media pushes the narrative, it's getting harder and harder to ignore what's actually happening during games. We're watching her miss routine free throws, struggle to finish at the rim, and post underwhelming results, while still being treated like she's already a legend in the making. The hype is strong, but the production hasn't caught up. And the more people pretend everything's fine, the more obvious it becomes that the emperor might not be wearing any clothes. Angel has potential, no doubt, but potential isn't the same as performance. And at some point, the focus has to shift from branding and buzz to actual basketball.
So fix it, Candace, fix it. I'm calling on you because I got confidence. You're one of my favorite players of all time, and I talk about you in all of the different conversations if you go and look at the network yourself. So I just hope that you, Candace Parker, fix what you said, what you did. You know what you did when you did how you did it. Fix it, Candace, because Angel Reese is top tier.
But the moment you say any of this out loud, the backlash is immediate. You're labeled as someone tearing down black women, or worse, accused of being jealous. But jealous of what, exactly? Because what's being sold as dominance often looks more like carefully engineered optics. The so-called double-double machine wasn't running on raw, unstoppable talent alone. It was running on a system built specifically to showcase her. The playbook was tweaked to funnel opportunities her way. Teammates adjusted their roles to keep her fed, and the overall team dynamic seemed more focused on boosting her numbers than winning games. At times, it felt like the whole roster was wearing Angel Reese merchandise under their jerseys, committed less to a championship run and more to maintaining the illusion of superstardom. This isn't to say Angel has no talent. She absolutely does. But talent and polish aren't the same thing. The truth is, the performances haven't consistently lived up to the hype, and pointing that out shouldn't be treated like a personal attack. Yet in today's climate, any honest critique is instantly met with outrage, as if acknowledging flaws somehow equates to betrayal. It's not hate to want accountability. It's not jealousy to expect substance behind the spotlight. And it's definitely not wrong to question whether what we're watching is greatness in the making, or just great marketing.
I just think that it's like comparing apples and oranges. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
at least
they don't play the same position.
They like doing the like Magic and the Bird comparison. Well, they played similar positions. Like Bird, he played the guard position. Like they at least kind of match up. This, like, what are we doing? I'm not falling into that. I'm not into the comparison. I think that there are a number of things that Angel can improve on, will improve on in the situation she's in. And I think Caitlin Clark has done that even in her first year in terms of, being able to be that floor general. Her and Aaliyah Boston's connection has really improved. And I think the thing about Caitlin, yes, she can shoot from the logo, but she makes her team.
Let's stick to facts, not feelings. If Angel Reese hadn't been coddled throughout her rookie season, with carefully timed rotations, padded minutes, and a system designed to protect her from real growing pains, her numbers would be nowhere near as flattering. Her performance was micromanaged to the point where it felt like she was being spoon-fed success, not earning it. But somehow, the narrative turned her into a dominant force fueled by raw talent, when in reality, it was a tightly controlled rollout supported by highlight clips, Instagram filters, and sideline glam. It's giving influencer, not impact, and people are finally starting to see the difference. And here's why Candace Parker's commentary struck such a nerve. It wasn't just about Angel. It was about the entire fan base that's been hypnotized by theatrics. The stares, the social media edits, the dances, they've started to mean more than actual skill development. Parker wasn't taking shots. She was holding up a mirror, and a lot of people didn't like what they saw. Reese has become a brand first, baller second. And when the marketing machine starts to overshadow the performance on the court, there's a serious disconnect that needs to be addressed. Now, let's talk about the Caitlin Clark-sized elephant in the room. Candace got some things right, but her take on Clark? Completely off base. Clark isn't just playing well. She's dismantling defenses like it's a personal hobby. Those elite defenders Parker claimed would humble her? They're out here chasing air and praying for mercy. Clark isn't just getting buckets. She's putting opponents through basketball boot camp. That's why she's being guarded full court like she's carrying state secrets. Give her an inch, and it's 3 points and a soul-crushing reminder that she's the most dangerous player on the floor. And yes, Angel Reese has been one of those defenders, left spinning, scrambling, and eventually sitting after another reality check from Caitlin Clark. The numbers don't lie. The tape doesn't lie. And neither does the growing gap between hype and actual game.
Comes from is that Candace Parker made a tier list and put, of all the top players in the WNBA, where, by the way, every single player, or like all the players on this list were good. So there's no bad players. It's like if you had a tier list where you only had the top 10 players of the world, you would have a top 10 player of the world in D tier. Like, it is what it is. And basically, first of all, the Angel Reese fans attacked her because she basically said what is correct. Angel Reese is a fantastic, third option.
And yet, the same fans who scream protect black women are the first to hurl digital grenades at Candace Parker the moment she shares an opinion they don't like. The irony is almost too perfect. Candace, a legend of the game, offers smart, honest analysis. And instead of appreciation, she gets backlash from the very crowd that claims to uplift women like her. But let's shift the spotlight to the real MVP of this ongoing drama, Kennedy Carter. While Angel Reese's fanbase was flooding social media with outrage and Candace Parker was delivering a masterclass in basketball insight, Kennedy Carter logged in like she'd been waiting for this moment. Armed with a flamethrower and a bucket of popcorn, she didn't just sit back and watch the Skies season unravel. She soundtracked the collapse. Carter's posts read like the unfiltered thoughts of a petty fairy godmother gleefully watching her ex crash and burn. The Chicago Sky are stumbling on the court, but Carter's online commentary is a full-blown performance art. She's not even suiting up, and somehow, she's the most captivating figure in the entire mess. Her tweets deserve to be printed and hung in a museum wing dedicated to petty excellence, because when your former team is falling apart like a cheap lawn chair in a windstorm, sometimes the only thing left to do is laugh and hit post. And she's doing it better than anyone. Meanwhile, Angel Reese continues to stand at the podium, puffing her chest and talking a big game while her box scores quietly beg for mercy. Her supporters insist she's being targeted. Let's be clear. She's not being targeted. She's being evaluated. There's a difference. She's a professional athlete playing in the most competitive women's league in the world. If you step onto that court and claim greatness, people have every right to measure if your game backs it up. Right now, the numbers and the eye test are telling a different story.